Yo, what's up guys? Countless just dropped a whole bunch of new events. But to look in the new events, I also do want to talk a little bit about the old events. Some things that you might want to do before the events run out. So we have 2 more days on this event. If you haven't done it yet, do make sure that you do all of your rune crafting, because that event allows you to double up a rune that you already have or that you already gained, to get that once again. So if you do have a lot of crafting materials such as these, definitely use them before the event runs out, but also do use these before the event runs out. Once again, for these, I wouldn't recommend to say like, oh, let's just go straight up in violent. No, I would recommend to just do any and then just see what you get from there, and then just make your way work on that. Also, we do have the event going down for the selection net 5, so do double check if you get the right unit, and do make sure that you have 1,000 coins left over, because if you want to change anything, it does cost you 1,000. Then you also have the special shop. Maybe you already have been spending most of your resources at the end. If not, I would say try to look into these for a little bit as well, because the first 10 buys on these are definitely not that expensive. As you can see, it's just a 60. So it's not going to add you much. Sure, you don't want to go all the way in, but just like a 60 or just get in like a 20 or something like that in every one of them is most likely worth it. Afterward, it's mainly trying to get the cost of this. So one cost of this is 224, whereas one cost of this is 325. You probably want to aim where your runes is about equal to your cost of your mystical scroll. I actually went a little bit overboard in that. And you do also want to get it where your energy cost is also. I purchased 80, I think like 50-ish is probably more fair for this. So I should be getting more runes in this, which you also do want to claim early, because the runes in this can help you maybe get a few extra good runes towards the other event, and therefore you have something more to claim over there. So let me actually, we're gonna claim all -2. And then the others I will just simply use to get like 10 in each over here for everything. It's not really that I really need these kind of things, but it's just, it's not that expensive to just get 10. Probably I need a little bit more in this because I have been overstacking for a little bit. So just get in all of those for a tenner, and then we just get in those for the rest of the coins as well. Mana, of course, no one cares about. So yeah, that's the recommendation for these events that are running out soon. Also, do make sure that, or if you have a shit ton of crystals left, you can use crystals right now to increase your storage space. And with your storage space, I do mean the one that you have over here. Let's say, I think my artifacts is not maxed out, this one. If you do this right now, you get a 600 back, so it's technically 10% cheaper. I'm personally not planning to do that. I already did max for the runes. I did a little bit more for the grinds, and of course, these you don't have to do at all. You can do a little bit more if you're sitting on a lot of crystals. This is the final chance where that becomes actual cheaper. So if you want to think about that, then that's definitely something you could do as well. So that's for all of the old events. Let's look at the new events that we have. And I just remember on Steam client, for some reason, this still doesn't really load. So I have to go on the LD player. So here on the alt, let's see what we have for all of those events. So the first event is enjoy free weekly special summons. Okay. So we have enjoyed that for 10 times, okay, and once for light and dark, okay. I guess they have the same summon rates as normal mystical scrolls, so that's a 0.5 on net 5s and a 0.35 on the LD side. You're not going to get the right LD with this one, because I did already see that you can select your own LDs, but in the end, you're only going to get, what is it, 5 LD scrolls on that. Pulling an LD5 in those 5 LD scrolls, and that's very slim. So it does look kind of baiting, where it's like, oh, that's insane. Yeah, not really. There is probably a possibility where they sell more of those in packs. Does seem kind of strong, but it also kind of is a bait, I would say. Maybe to get that specific LD4, if you really do miss a specific LD4. Personally, I miss a Rune. Maybe some people would really miss a Debra. If they do start selling packs for this, which I definitely wouldn't be surprised if they do, because we know how Countdoors operates, then I would be more focusing on trying to get a direct good LD, rather like an LD4 rather than an LD5, because the LD5 might be a heavy bait where you spend a lot of money and you get nothing. Also, it is a SP monster rate up. that probably does mean that you can pull anything else still regardless as well. We'll see. We'll see how that actually does work out, but I don't expect too much out of this. Like, it's okay as a thing, but I don't really expect too much out of that. Then we also have Premium Shop. Is there going to be an infinite shop at the end? More 11-year tokens? Sure thing. We do have all attributes, LDs, legendaries, more 11-year scrolls. That's not bad. Bunch of emojis and stuff. Okay, we do have bunch of typical stuff that they're giving. Nothing too crazy. Dimensional energy is not that bad, to be honest. Bonus shop up to 100 times, so this one is limited. Oh, the unknown scrolls is unlimited in this one. Okay, that's actually kind of interesting because unknown scrolls you can trade to energy in the end anyway, so unknown scrolls unlimited is definitely not bad. So in this one, the moment you go into bonus shop, everything you want to throw in is going to be in the unknown scrolls. That's 100% a guaranteed. And then besides that, just a bunch of these things. Okay, that's totally fine. Then we have the legendary Rune event and also 100 reappraisal event. Okay, 100 reappraisal, that's interesting right there. 100 re-ups, that normally takes you a very long time. Okay, clear 100 missions to claim 100 6 stars. Okay, and then also 100 reappraisals. So we have the selection type, okay, and you cannot select more than 10 runes or reappraisals from the same type, okay? So let me actually write down what I think should be the ones that I will be going for. Let me see if the notepad is still available. There you have it. Readable. Let's make this readable. Yes, sir. So we need 10 runes. I will do, of course, Swift will spare bio. After that, it gets a little bit more like, okay, where do you, especially for the re-ups, where do you have good re-up targets in? I do know for myself that I have good re-up targets on Blade because I've been keeping those on purpose for slot 4 Blade. I would have to double check where I all have like slot 4 crit rates. Most of those I have been like side keeping slot 4 crit rates. And those are the recommended ones. I'm also pretty sure I have that in Revenge. I'll probably do that on Nemesis. Besides that, what else? I think I will re-up Rage and then maybe like an attack slot 2 and 6. I think that those are pretty nice to re-up because those are pretty hard to come by, and I think I saved a few of those as well. Then besides that, probably anything that you get from Giants because you've been farming Giants the most, or anything that you kind of feel like is worth it. It could be Vamp. I think Vamp / Destroy. I think most people will go something along the lines of this. You could also say a fight. It's also not a bad take to go for some fight runes. Maybe you have like a really shitty crit damage slot 4, and then you go for fight in there. So I think that my set will be looking something like this. But I would say the last 3, it's kind of depending on you. Do you rather go for Rage runes, or do you go for fight, or do you rather go for Destroy or Vamp or anything like that? But the first 7, I think, is kind of set in stone. At least the first 4 is set in stone for everyone. I think Blade kind of counts for everyone because everyone is farming Giants and you probably have some Blade runes that you can do. For the Runecraft, maybe not. For the Runecraft, you don't care about Blade because then you don't want to go anything that you normally farm in Giants. So you would definitely go for Rune. So this is for the re-up. And then if you go for the Runecraft, you literally put like anything in here. It doesn't really matter. So that's my recommendation for those. It's a decent amount of stuff that you can get. Also a bunch of grinds and gems. Most of the time you just want to throw all of that in Vio or Swift. Depends what you farm most and what you need most in that case. So not a bad event. Not a crazy event neither, but not a bad event. And then we go into the event that I still hate one of the most, which is the make 2 runes to a +6. Come to us, really. I've said this many times already. Make an event where you make a hero rune +9 and everyone can choose their specific 24 speeds. They can choose their specific 32 AC on the slot 2 or 24 crit rate on the slot 2. And not have this nonsense event where there is the one typical guy, you know which guildie it is or which streamer it is, that's gonna sack the 30 speed rune and all of you are going to be and the rest is like 18 speed. Like that's just the thing. You know there's one guy that's for sure gonna sack another 30 speed, whereas the rest of the community is just gonna get 18 speeds. I really dislike this event for it because this is the biggest sack event there is in the game. But yeah, recommendation with this one, don't take rune on the first day. There's still so many people that do that, like, oh, I got a 6 speed in it, let me roll it. No, just wait your time, and yeah, just wait until you have like proper substats in it. It does take a bit of time. Also, you can change the substats 10 times every day for free, so I would definitely be using that at first and then maybe do the whole re-rolling after. So there's a bit of recommendation in there. What would I recommend to go for the stats over here? To be honest, I think on this point, you could go for a safe call slot 2 with CR, AC, HP, Def, or Attack. But I think personally, I will just speed chase. Like, if you get a good speed one, it's nice. If not, it's bad. So I will probably... There's a lot of CR slot 4s that are useful right now on Swift, Despair, Vio, and even Will. So I think that the CR 4 is definitely high value. But for me, I do notice that I need HP/4 and HP 6s. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do an HP 4 and an HP 6. If not, I will probably do an HP 6 and a crit 4, but that kind of depends what I'm allowed to do. And then I probably do take it on Violent, and I do take it on Will, because Swift and Despair I'm farming regardless. I can definitely use a better CR crit Swift. That is definitely one of those things that I'm hard lacking. But then again, to take it from this event, I'm not really sure if I will do that. Maybe I'll consider that, but I'm not 100% sure about that yet. So that's kind of up to your consideration what you would like most. And that's all for the new events that came up. Nothing too crazy out there. Pretty much all recycled events that we have seen before. But yep, that's just is what it is. Well, guys, thanks a lot for watching for this one. Let me know in the comments what you are planning to do with these events. And see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.